Good evening and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Planning and Zoning, Bryan County Board of Adjustments and Planning and Zoning Commission for October 21st, 2025 in Richmond Hill, Georgia. Before we begin, I'll briefly review the rules for public hearing. Staff will present a summary and recommendation first. The applicant or their representative will speak next, followed by public comments for those who signed up. If you do wish to speak and haven't signed up, please complete a speaker slip now. When called, please come to the podium, and I have to clarify this. Please state your name, your address, and whom you represent. If speaking on behalf of an individual or organization as well. Depending on the number of speakers, in large groups especially, individuals may be limited to 3 minutes, just to keep time concise and constrained. If you're part of a group, a large group, that sort of thing, please designate a representative to speak on your behalf of the group's behalf. Please direct your remarks only to the commission. In previous events, we've had persons talking over others and unfortunately other things that have disrupted the meeting. And we try to maintain order here as the best we can. Personal attacks, off comments, or addressing or questioning others during the course of the meeting are not permitted. And repeated violations after any warning may result in loss of your speaking time. After the hearing, the commission will vote on each item. We have to make this point clear that the Board of Adjustments in the Planning and Zoning, we are the final decision of that for the Board of Adjustments. Planning and Zoning Commission decisions are recommendations. The second part, which is the Planning and Zoning, is recommendations only, which we will be providing our recommendation, which will be later forwarded to the Board of Commissions at their next meeting for final action. You are welcome to leave the meeting following the items you are here for. However, please exit quietly and refrain from conversation until you are outside the meeting room to avoid disrupting the rest of the meeting. Thank you for cooperation, and we will now proceed with the agenda. Has everybody gotten a chance to read the minutes? Can I get an approval of the minutes, please?
Motion to approve the September minutes.
Second.
All in favor? I would like to have a motion to open up Board of Adjustments Variance Project 2025-0634.
Motion to open public hearing.
Second.
We are in session.
So this first hearing is a variance request for property located at 725 Seascape Drive. The property is zoned R15, single-family residential, and is approximately 0.6 acres. The property is currently vacant, and the applicant is planning to construct a home on the property, approximately 4,500 square feet. In order to construct this residence, they are requesting a front setback reduction from 100 feet to 70 feet at the closest point, and side setback reductions from 15 feet to 10 feet on both sides. In terms of a hardship, the applicant cited their HOA requesting they ask for these reductions, as well as their desire for a larger backyard. Staff cannot consider HOA requests or regulations as a hardship. However, the property's shape and location adjacent to state waters does impact the development of the lot. Additionally, there is a special flood hazard area on the rear along the water, and the property has a larger front setback than the neighboring lots, which are approximately 70 to 75 feet. These conditions do create a hardship for this property and are unique to this property. Staff did find that these requests were consistent with the UDO as well, as they accommodate lot conditions while still maintaining appropriate setbacks and limiting impact on that river marsh area. So staff is recommending approval of the requested variances to reduce the front setback to 70 feet at the closest point and the side setbacks to 10 feet because the criteria are met, and I can answer any questions you may have.
Any questions?
No questions.
Do we have the applicant or representative from the applicant here? If you could please as well, please state your name, address, and who you represent.
Good afternoon, I'm Billy Norwood, live at 70 Marsh Cove, Richmond Hill, and I'm representing Andy and Vicki Hitt.
Thank you, sir.
She pretty much summed up, what we're requesting and why, and unless you guys have any questions for me, I don't really have anything to add to that. So is that?
No questions?
Meets unique requirements.
Cut and dry.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. No other speaker slips for this particular variance? Anybody from the audience who has not signed a speaker slip wish to speak for or against? Before we close this, any additional comments? Okay, perfect. All right. Can I get a motion to approve or deny? I apologize. Motion to close. My apologies. Sorry. Taxes are burning me out. I apologize.
Motion to close
Can I-
public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Perfect. Okay. And can I get a motion to approve or deny, please?
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Like I said, variances are our governance. Motion to open, can I get a motion, please, to open variance project 2025-0581?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay. Yeah, this variance is a request to reduce side setbacks from 13 to 13 feet from 50 feet for a property located at 9365 Georgia Highway 204. And the property is currently zoned A5 agricultural. And you can see it's surrounded by other A5 zonings as well as Fort Stewart to the south. And you can see some existing conditions of the property here where it is currently vacant, but the applicant is proposing to locate a manufactured home on the property. The property is currently less than the required acreage, so A5 typically requires 5 acres in size. This property is just about 1 acre, so it's about a fifth of what we would typically require, so it never meets the minimum road frontage requirements or the lot width requirements that we would require, as well as the zoning district. So we are recommending approval of the variance criteria as we feel the criteria are met. And I can answer any questions you may have.
Do you have any questions?
No question.
No? Okay, thank you. Do we have the applicant or applicant's representative here? Good evening, sir. If you can kindly just state your name, your address, and whom you represent.
My name is Chris Martinez. My address is 128 Windmill Drive, Savannah, Georgia. I am the applicant. This property is a family property. It's been in our family. My mother grew up there. It was my grandma's property prior to that. I was just trying to move back out there. There has been a house and a trailer out there at one time, a long time ago, I'm pretty sure before zoning. Then there was a trailer out there as close as to probably 2011, 2012. It was removed, and we've just been keeping up with the property as to where I've been trying to get back out there. I'm trying to get my mother back out there as to where my grandma has a plot out there, just to join them back because we took care of that property after she passed.
My condolences.
Appreciate it. And that's pretty much it.
Do you have any questions for this one, gentleman? No? Thank you again, sir. My condolences sincerely.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
We do have one speaker slip, wasn't advised for. You can have a seat, sir. Thank you. Ms. Lauren Jennings? And again, for the record, if you can kindly state your name and address, okay, please.
It's Lauren Jennings, and it's 174 Williams Road in Hinesville, Georgia. I'm with a manufactured home dealership that is selling Mr. Martinez's home, and it is in brand new. It's 2025, 32 by 80. Obviously, is zone 2, as you know, for this. So it'll look very nice. We're not bringing an old home into the county, so just wanted to let you know that it's not going to deteriorate or make things look bad.
Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Do you have any questions for her? Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. No other speaker slips for this particular case? Okay. Can I get a motion to close variance project 2025-0581?
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Okay. Can I get a motion to approve or deny?
Motion to approve the variance.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Excellent. Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the Planning and Zoning Commission, or motion to open project 2025-0681 rezoning?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? We begin.
Hello again. So item number 1 under planning and zoning is a request to rezone approximately 20.6 acres from the RR 2.5 to the RR 1 rural residential district. This is located on the south end of Bryan County off of Highway 144, just south of Michael Drive. And so you can see the location map zoomed in up closer here. And you can see the current zoning map. It is currently zoned RR 2.5. It's surrounded by some other A5 zonings, as well as properties on Michael Drive that are non-conforming in the A5, as well as some other RR 1.5 properties. And you can see the character area map here where it falls into the low-density coastal residential character area, which is 1 unit per acre or less due to the lack of infrastructure, which does recommend the A5, the rural residential, as well as some other zoning districts for that character area. And then we went out and took some pictures of some existing conditions, so you can see the existing drive onto the property, some of the acreage that they're going to be proposing for home sites, as well as their existing encroachment from the State Road 144 there. And here you can see their concept plan. So what the applicant is proposing is to do 3 lots served by a private road, which would have to change a little bit from this configuration to include like a cul-de-sac bulb or anything. With the 20.6 acres total, only having that one access point. And the concept shows 3 possible home sites. Now I do want to note, because I think there has been some questions in the community, they're looking to rezone really just due to the lot sizes being a little smaller on what they're showing here as lots 2 and 3, those 2 smaller ones closer to the front. But they actually could get the same number of lots if it was zoned RR 2.5. Due to the minor subdivision provisions in the ordinance, they could get a maximum of 6 lots now. That doesn't change when they rezone to the rural residential 1 acre district, just the size of the lot. So they're not actually creating any more density out there.
Okay.
And so for that reason, staff is recommending approval of the rezoning as we feel it is consistent with the character area map, and I can answer any questions you may have.
Brad, I did have a question about, you said it could accommodate up to 6 homes, so that could be a potential in the future?
They could potentially do that, but they could potentially do that now under the current zoning.
Okay,
So,
no more questions.
I understand the USAC regulations on permitting and stuff when it comes to the wetlands area there.
yeah, so their property is pretty high, and we don't see any potential wetlands shown on their tract of land.
Excellent, thank you.
Yep.
No speaker slips for this particular one? Okay, awesome. Can I get the applicant and/or the representative, if they're here?
Good afternoon. Daniel Crawford, I live at 19331 Georgia Highway 144. I'm the owner of the property. In a nutshell, we're subdividing it for a family compound, so to speak, and kind of with that long road that we're turning it into, that takes about 4.5 acres of the land. So more or less, we're just shortening those 2 front lots to accommodate for 4 acres that are going to make for the private road. And that's pretty much the bulk of the reason we're trying to make this change.
Any questions for the applicant?
Sounds like the dream everybody wants, so congratulations.
We're trying, thank you.
Family compound.
We looked at, like I said, the planning and zoning aspect of it is a referendum. We will actually make our recommendation, of course, to planning and zoning in the next commission meeting. They will probably make decision at that as well. So I recommend, of course, attending just the same. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Any persons, I know we haven't had any speaker slips for this particular one. Is there anybody wishing to speak for or against this particular rezoning? Okay, can I get a motion to close the rezoning project 2025-0681?
Motion to close.
Second?
All in favor? Can I get a motion to approve or deny?
Motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to open up conditional use permit project 2025-0672?
Motion. Motion. Second.
We're good.
So this is a conditional use permit request for a cell tower to be located off of Waterways Parkway. The proposed location is on parcel 5 of the Waterways development and is adjacent to the existing county fire station and well site. The tower will be on an 80 by 80 foot leased area, accessed again off of Resource Way, which is off of the parkway there, and will be 215 feet tall. The area is currently used for an office trailer, gravel parking, and maintenance equipment. These items will be relocated or removed from the site. The applicant is also requesting a reduction in the required 215-foot setbacks on all sides. So they are requesting the following reductions: 64 feet and 9-inch setback on the northeast, 121 feet and 9 inches on the southwest, and 44 feet and 9 inches on the northwest. Telecommunication towers or cell towers are subject to the telecommunications ordinance, which includes specific standards that they have to meet in order for this conditional use to be approved. As I mentioned, the ordinance requires the setbacks to be equal to the height of the tower, though they can request reductions as they have. The fall zone for this tower, as they show, has a 40-foot radius per their structural engineer, which the applicant has highlighted as justification to reduce these setbacks. The proposed setbacks would contain the tower within this fall zone. The tower is also over 600 feet from the nearest residence. The proposed access off of Resource Way, which is an existing paved access easement. The county engineering department indicated they will need to review a copy of the ingress egress agreement for approval, as the county does utilize this access currently. The engineering department also indicated that any new utility lines for this use will need to have location reviewed and approved prior to the installation. Additionally, the applicant did identify the need for this tower by providing documentation that the nearest tower is over 3 miles from this site, and that this tower will fill in a gap in current coverage. Additionally, they did also indicate a willingness to work with the county on co-location to help fulfill any county communication needs. The subject parcel is in an area that is surrounded by a heavily wooded area. And the applicant did also provide a visibility study with their application indicating the tower will not be visible from surrounding areas. As discussed, the surrounding area does include that fire station and some county utilities, as well as vacant areas. In addition, the applicant did also provide a petition, which is in your package, showing support for the tower signed by Waterways residents. The applicant also provided documentation for their federal reviews and approvals that are required, including offices such as the State Preservation Office and U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services. The consultant that completed these reviews for them did provide guidance on procedures in the event that there is inadvertent discovery of Native American materials or human remains during construction. And in these cases, they would have to cease work immediately. And if the county was notified of such a discovery, we would reserve the right to issue a stop work order if needed. So staff did recommend approval of this conditional use for the cell tower, including the requested setback reductions with the following conditions. Prior to construction permit approval, the applicant must provide plans for off-site cable or conduit and telecommunications utilities that are coming to the tower site. If new, the respective utilities will need to be coordinated with the county. This will include providing plans indicating utility location prior to construction commencing. Prior to construction permit approval, the county will acquire a copy of the proposed 30-foot ingress-egress and fiber utility easement. The county must approve this easement prior to permit approval. And I can answer any questions you may have.
Are they gonna have buried line going to the tower, or is it gonna be utilizing any?
Likely so, but they might be able to give more detail, but that's what they're showing on the
Okay.
plans now.
And you said there's a willingness to also coincide with communications for emergency comms?
They indicate a willingness to work with the county.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said the closest home is 600 feet. I think I
Mhm,
read that.
over
also.
600
Okay,
feet.
over 600. And no other lots for sale in the
No,
immediate area?
it's in an open area. Our utility parcel's there in the fire station.
Great. Oh, I know exactly. That's it. Okay. Yep.
Any additional questions?
We have the applicant or applicant's representative. If you could, sir, state your name, address, and whom you represent.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Jonathan Yates, 105 Broad Street, Charleston, South Carolina. Here on behalf of Next Tower. Also, I have with me Mr. Joel Russo, my boss at Next Tower, Mr. Dana Braun, our local counsel, and Michael Nelson of Savannah Land Holdings, LLC. First and foremost, I got to thank this lady and this lady. During this process, I don't think Sarah kept track. Was it 100 stupid questions I asked, or 101? She never laughed at me. You got some real professionals here, and it was a pleasure to work with them. We're also pleased to announce, I've been doing towers about 30 years. I've never walked into a meeting where I had in my hand a petition signed by 468 people saying, we want the tower. It's a first. Why is that? You got to have phone service. We refer to wireless as the fourth utility, wireless infrastructure. The fact is, when I was sitting here waiting on the meeting tonight, everyone sitting at these tables, they were doing the same thing. They were looking at their phones. It's become, the stupidest thing I did recently, this was a few years back, I gave my son an iPad. It is like that thing is glued to his hand. Long way of saying it, wireless infrastructure is intrinsically important. Michael has been very good in trying to help us solve this problem. We have a perfect location to cover waterways. We are in what used to be sort of their staging area. They had an office trailer there. On one side of me, I have the county well site. On the other side, I have Fire Station Ted. Perfect. And if you drive in there, it's amazing. The trees, the woods. We're doing a 210-foot pole, additional 5 feet for the lightning rod. It's what we call the monopole. What is a monopole? Monopole is a pylon, what you'd see in front of, say, a Hardee's or Walmart, except with a lot thicker steel. So we have a very clean silhouette, and we designed it initially for T-Mobile, then Verizon, and there was additional space for at least 2 additional broadband carriers. Our goal here is to bring this infrastructure to waterways in the surrounding area. I think when you look at it, look at our application, look at the site, where we are, what we can achieve, I think it's a win-win, and we hope that you'll see it that way. People joke about me. It takes me 6 minutes just to say my name. I'm sorry, you've had very brief applicants before me. I apologize for that. But here for any and all questions. I mean, we've done a lot of work on this. Just to point it out, the FAA has reviewed and approved it. Sarah talked on the NEPA approval. And it's a perfect location to provide the infrastructure, and it really works out very nicely. I'm here for any and all questions. Michael can ask questions, answer questions about the development itself. Joel is the guy, if we are later approved by the Board of Commissioners, he'll take it from there and develop it. And Dana is my favorite lawyer in Georgia. I'm here for any and all questions.
Well, I do appreciate you working with especially the aspect of comms for the county as the expansion goes north and south. You know, it's always need for clear communications for emergency services. And I do appreciate your willingness to potentially work with them to ensure that their communications are expanded.
That's essential. And, you know, we talked about people playing on their phones, but to me, one of the most important aspects, access to 911.
Mm-hmm.
You're in trouble. You don't want to go look for a phone, knock on a door. You want to pull it off your belt or out of your pocketbook, so that access to first responders, whether they be fire, police, EMS. Also, as we touched on, the Bryan County Emergency Management Agency, sorry, I'm a little tongue-tied. Bryan County Emergency Management Agency, Code Red. They want to put those alerts out there. We got bad weather coming, we got something coming. It doesn't work that well if you don't have a phone that can pick up the Code Red. So all that goes into it. We joke about people playing games on their phone, searching the internet, but they're vital, particularly bad weather or some kind of other alert where we have a situation going on in that part of county. We want folks to know what's coming. I thank y'all.
Thank you,
I
sir.
assume there's a lapse in coverage in that area, is it?
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
all right.
When you hit the sanctuary neighborhood on the left, just
2 bars
before,
on.
I have AT&T, which I hope AT&T comes, because one of my best friends lives there, and she has to say, I have to let you go now, because, and then
cut
call
you
me
off.
back on her
Yeah.
home phone. So you're gonna make home
That's important.
landlines null and void in waterways, but
Mhm.
there is a much need for that service there.
Plus the expansive cell phone coverage in the river too, don't forget.
Because
especially
I
when it
worry
bumps to the
about
street.
medical,
Yeah.
if anyone in that area that doesn't live there comes and has a medical emergency. There have been several pretty severe accidents on that road in the past few years, and it's a real need to have cell service there, so thank you.
Commissioner Watson, just to repeat, I've been doing this a long time. I've never walked in with a petition signed by 468 people. I think they want it. I think they want it. I wish I could move them around the rest of the state to write the same
Yeah,
petition, but they're right here. But that's it. Wireless has become so important, again, whether it's playing on the phone or medical, or getting to a first responder, or having the county emergency management agency let you know, hey, we got bad weather coming, or we got someone loose in the neighborhood that shouldn't be there, be on the lookout for this Jeep. That's important information, and we have a good way to disseminate it if you have the tower that
We
can
have
provide that
alerts
infrastructure.
also, like the silver alerts for the older people. We have a lot of people that are retiring to waterways. I'm a nurse, so I think through all of the safety aspects, so this is much needed.
Since I'm a former first responder, things like FirstNet, repeater communications and stuff for the county emergency services so they can collaborate on radio is of the
Yeah.
utmost importance as that area potentially as the propagation and expansion of where it's going.
Absolutely. You know, talking to Michael, there are about 780 lived-in homes now, but it built out, there are gonna be 3,300 homes there. You multiply that, number of people at home, you got a lot of folks. And you knowing about emergency, you being in the healthcare, if someone's being transported to the hospital, we want that information flowing from the transport vehicle to the folks at the hospital trying to do that initial triage. They can, we talked about the golden hour. It's important, it's important.
Now, are cell phone towers based on bandwidth, how they support cell phones, like imagine how many cell phones they can support per tower? Do
It's
towers have expansive, capabilities in case that the population does increase from the amount there to potentially 3,300? Or it's going to degrade, or can it be upgraded to facilitate just in case expansion does happen in that region?
The structure itself is steel that is designed to hold their carriers, and the carriers, they have the ability to, new technologies are coming out, whether they're migrating from, I started with, to show you how old I am, I started when it was 1G, we're now in the 5G, and we have 6G on the horizon, and that's a factor for the carriers. They switch out their radios, their format. That's something they do to try to serve everyone as best they can. Yes, sir.
Well, I'm glad that you have the Verizon network there because I know, being a Vietnam vet, I have a 411 that I wear around my neck. And you need that just in case that you're in any portion of the house that you have emergency.
I think that's the key. You don't want to have to run into, Commissioner Carswell, first and foremost, thank you for your service, sir. Thank you, sir. You don't want to, you're having a situation, you don't want to have to run into the yard to make that connection. So, yeah, the facility is designed for at least 4 broadband carriers. T-Mobile will be the initial, followed by Verizon, leaving space open. We'll see if AT&T makes that election also. But yes, sir.
I'm not gonna switch, she can switch.
This will be out. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any other questions, folks?
No, thank
Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Okay, and there's no speaker subs. Is there anybody in the audience particularly would like to speak for and against this particular adjustment? Yes. So for the CUP project 2025-0672, can I get a motion to close?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Who would like to make a motion for or against?
I'll make a motion to approve this conditional use permit, project 202-50672. With condition, with
okay.
staff recommendations.
Do I-
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? No? Okay. Thank you. Okay. And just as a reminder, it's going to be going in front of the Board of Commissioners at the next meeting. Thank you very much for your time. Do we have any other news, pending news, old news, business? Anybody? Good. Okay. No other business listed. We talked about future training and stuff too, so can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
Okay. So, all in favor?
Aye.